You can help me. Is this a good angle?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Actually. Hello everyone and welcome to the very first video on Tom and I's new YouTube channel, Putting Down Roots. And we are so excited to bring you in on what we hope will be an adventure of a lifetime. Because tomorrow, Tom and I are moving to New Zealand for a year. We wanted to be able to bring you along with us. We have an Instagram page which is also up and running probably by the time this video gets off, but we also wanted to be able to film our experiences when we're out there to bring you along with us and allow friends and family to see what we're getting up to and hopefully all of the fun that we will be having. For those of you that don't know Tom and I, we are a couple from the UK, and until really recently we were living in London. I was working for a charity as a regional manager and a coach. And Tom was working in town planning. He was a town planning consultant. And we decided around a year ago now that we wanted to do a year abroad. It's been something that we're thinking about for a while, something that separately, before we even both came together, we knew we wanted to do. So we thought around a year ago, it was as good a time as ever to quit our jobs, leave London, and experience a whole different way of life and move to New Zealand. Tom has been to New Zealand before. I have never, so this will be a brand new experience for me. Tom fell in love with it when he went around 4 years ago, just before he met me. And so I'm so excited to be able to fulfill what's been a lifelong dream of mine, to go away, see some of the world, travel for an extended period of time. And it will be great to bring you along with us. As you can see, I am a Disney fan. Exhibit A, and I listen to a lot of Disney podcasts which tell all about people's trip reports. So they explain what their plans are before the trip, but then also come back on post-trip and tell people what has changed, what was different, so that they can learn. And also I just love to listen. So I just thought I'd do the same thing really and bring you into the conversation on what our plans are and potentially use this as a tool to look back on and see what it was that we had to be more flexible in, but also what we had pretty spot on and what our hopes were right from the start. Our trip starts tomorrow and we are flying to Thailand. So we're not flying straight to New Zealand yet, but we are flying to Thailand to be there for around 10 days. And we are seeing my granddad, who has lived there for around 18 years now. And my dad is coming with us as well because it's my dad's dad. So we're going as a three, so Tom, my dad and I. And we are, like I said, first going up to my granddad's, but then we are going to Phuket. So the beaches in the south, to do a little bit of snorkeling, island hopping, place I've never been before, and then finishing up our little trip together in Bangkok when my dad comes back to the UK and Tom and I fly onwards to Sydney. We're going to be spending about 4 days in Sydney. We don't have many concrete plans, but we have booked a concert, so like an orchestral concert at the Sydney Opera House, which is really exciting, but we will probably just hit a few of the main tourist attractions, so the bridges, the Opera House, a few of the beaches as well, and the harbours too. So we're just going to be spending a few days there because all the flights anyway to New Zealand went through Sydney before we went onwards. So we thought, why not get off the plane and spend a few days there, since we're on that side of the world. And then on the 19th of February, we are flying from Sydney into Christchurch, which is on the South Island, and that is where we will be for approximately 2 weeks. We are staying with one of my friends that I met through sport that I used to do. She's really kindly put us up, so we are going to be staying there whilst we get things sorted like our IRD number, which is a national insurance number, whilst we open a bank account, get our SIM cards and phone contracts sorted. But at the same time, we are going to be looking for a van. We are hoping to live and travel in this van for around the year that we're there. We're not sure exactly how long we will commit to van life for yet, but the hope is that we can get one that's self-contained, which basically means that we can freedom camp and stay in a lot of places unrestricted around New Zealand. So we can get from A to B, be a bit more flexible with our plans, but also just live life on the road, which is something that I've thought about doing for such a long time. I went on loads of caravan holidays when I was younger, and I love that way of life. Tom has never done that before, so it'll be interesting to see how he takes to it, but I love the freedom that comes with it. So I'm really excited to get on the roads, to buy our own vehicle, our very first vehicle together, and see some of the beautiful South Island whilst it's still warm, because when we fly over it will be the end of their summer, starting to get into autumn, so it'll be really great to be able to experience a little bit of heat before it gets cold again. So the plan is to hit up some of the main spots that you might have heard of, so like Wanaka and Queenstown, maybe do some kayaking, potentially a skydive. I would love that, but we will see whether I'm quite cut out and I have the nerves of steel for it. Before making our way up to the North Island, which is where my sister and her boyfriend are actually coming around June time. So we're going to spend a couple of weeks with them as they see the island. They'll be in the middle of their backpacking adventure that they're doing. So both my sister and I are flying the nest for a year to other parts of the world. Then we will hopefully get a job somewhere, whether it be the South or the North Island, potentially at a ski resort, anywhere we can find one really, just to make ends meet a little bit more. It's a good point to mention that we're actually doing a tutoring job at the same time as well, and we've started that's all online, so we're going to be doing that remotely when we're out there, but just as a little bit more money and to top us up and make ends meet. We will hopefully get a job within hospitality, retail, and spend a little bit more time in one set place before doing a little bit of travelling to end the trip too. We're hoping that the whole trip will be around a year long, but we are hoping to come back and see a few other places too along the way, potentially Australia to see a friend and her husband that we know there, but potentially also Fiji to do a bit of island hopping, and we'd love to go to Hawaii and maybe throw in Canada if we can stretch the budget too. So there's so many options, but we're not quite sure when we're going to come back yet. We're saying a year in our heads and then we'll start to make our way back, but it could be sooner or later, just depending on how much we love it and how long we want to stay. We would love for you to follow along with us and join us on our travels. The hope for this channel is that we're going to be doing a weekly vlog. So every week we are going to be putting out a video that will be a little bit more chill than this, won't be as a formal setup, probably won't involve many mug shots. But we will be taking you along with us as we go on lots of walks, go on hikes, go and do different things around the country, see different cities and towns. So please do subscribe if you haven't already, to be kept in the loop with everything that's going on. And for the first few weeks there probably won't be a video, as we're, like I said, going to Thailand, going here, there and everywhere, just trying to get ourselves sorted out. But the hope is then that there'll be a weekly vlog that kicks in. But if you do want to follow us in a little bit more real time, then we have an Instagram account that's also called Putting Down Roots, just with an underscore at the end. Someone had taken Putting Down Roots, the original. So please do follow on Instagram, and we will be posting probably almost daily, doing some stories. So if you want to follow along in that way too, we would love that. And then I suppose these weekly vlogs will basically be a little bit of a recap. Thank you so much for watching, and also thank you to all of our friends and family that have supported us unconditionally to get this to this point. I know some people will think it's a wacky thing that we're doing. We're giving up a job with stability, a life that we love here in the UK, but this is something that has been a dream of ours for so long. So thank you for just extending love to us as we've been navigating this process of leaving the UK for a little bit of time at least. Whenever I say leaving, it sounds really permanent, but we will be returning. Please do like, subscribe, and we will probably see you in a few weeks' time on the other side of the world. Bye-bye.